Yeah, we had a bad sprite going on that one. Okay, there we go. We're starting to get a little bit. So this is flipped based on the sign of the thing. I didn't have the Z flipped properly. I had my nodes fucked up. So what we need to happen for this guy is basically his normals are getting flipped. And if we negate this, okay, so what we want to do is, I believe it's the same as before. We want to flip everything except the X normal. No, that's not right at all. It's that we don't want to flip. We only want to flip the X normal? That's if we flip the X normal. But it's not always working? So why isn't it working for these guys? God, this is just frustrating. It's like this isn't getting applied at all. Alright, looks like we just have a fucked up we might just have a messed up thing here. Because I just disabled what I did and it's looking right now. And the reason for that is this sRGB stuff was correct. Now I'm gonna go check some of this content out real quick. Alright, so it's going to be text params dot sRGB equals false inside of here, and again inside of Alright, so maybe we can get some of this stuff working properly. There's the material stuff is really screwy because it doesn't seem to do what I want. Like there's just magical flags that are somewhere in here that make things look screwed up. It's basically the mirror stuff. Yeah, text params is wrong. So we're trying to import our normal maps and emissive maps and all that stuff so we can actually use our paper 2D sprites. And right now we're having problems with when we flip our object, the normals are getting flipped on it, and as a result, like the object's getting lit backwards. So I'm trying to figure out exactly what's going on with that, and it's got something to do with how the object is. I mean, obviously with how it's being lit, but it's some of these checkboxes inside of the material. So we import our new dude here. So this is our flipbook, and we've got our sprite materials. So the problem is when, we don't have a normal map, this guy is looking wrong. When we do have a normal map, it looks like it does work with a normal map, but it doesn't work when we don't have a normal map. So, and when we turn on two-sided material for this thing, what is happening is when we flip this thing around, I guess its normals get screwed up, and I'm trying to figure out how to fix this. And it's kind of annoying to figure all this stuff out because it's not like I'm seeing. Yeah, so if it's two-sided, if it's not two-sided, this is what we get. And this is inverting it ourselves. Alright, so this lighting is working, so what we want to do is we want to I didn't have one of these things hooked up. Alright, maybe this will do it. So this is inverting everything. So this is with a normal map. This doesn't even seem to be doing anything. This is with no normals. This is no normals, this is just straight taking it across. Well, I'm gonna take a quick break here. I'll be back in just like a minute or two. Well, so what I'm basically doing is, when we don't have normals on a character, they're getting lit wrong. When we do the two-sided material. So there's a couple options there. I mean, we could just not have materials, but it seems odd that we'd be getting stuff that's messed up with that. So for the material here, it looks like this. We've got our normal. We're sampling of the additional textures. I guess there might be an issue with, if there is no texture, what does this thing actually sample? And I would assume it's sampling this this default empty normal map. Because I don't want to use a different material just because like a normal map is present or not. So I mean, if I turn off sample additional textures, so we're not going to be using the normal maps at all. What? Alright, that doesn't make any sense. Let's just turn off normals entirely. So I'm trying to figure out which thing I need to negate to get to work properly. And the values just don't seem to change. Well, this is just frustrating. Because I'm throwing the normals in here, but they don't appear to do anything like what I expect. I'm expecting an inversion or of something here, and it's not doing anything for it. I don't get it. I absolutely do not understand what the hell is going on here. Like, it's a -1 multiplied by everything, and it's the same fucking color. Like, it's as if nothing's getting applied here. Like, this is a 0. This is no normals at all. The normal is 0, 0, 0. Now, if we have Z in there, and then we have X, we have Y. And then if we have X. And that's the thing, is like, this right here is what's going on, is like, it's a two-sided object, but it's not being lit properly as a two-sided object. Like, when we disable two-sided object, then this thing gets lit properly. But this object doesn't get lit properly. It's a paper flipbook component, and for these guys, the render component is a paper flipbook component. So it's like, what the fuck is the difference here? It's using the same mass lit sprite material. Just, I guess it doesn't have a normal map? God. Now this is just straight up, just use the additional texture as a normal map. And two-sided is false, which is what we want. There's just nothing else I'm seeing that actually, like... So what exactly is... You know, when we throw a sprite in here, and we can see it... We can see it from the back, so obviously it's not... Like, what is it? Oh, come on, I can't fucking click on this thing? Okay, there's a frickin' hotkey for this. Fucking, if you hit the T key, all of a sudden you can't select stuff. That's just so stupid. So obviously there's like stuff going on here, so I should do like... There's something going on behind my back here, which is screwing up all the materials for this thing. So I need to figure out like what the hell this sprite object geometry is. Because obviously there's something screwy with it where they're not working properly, and something with setting the damn normals. So if I go into this and I just trash all of the normals, this thing turns black. So it's like ignoring, the material is like ignoring everything I'm doing. For my default normals, it's just not. I hate how this thing does this. Or it allows you to throw stuff in there that aren't proper. What the fuck? God damn this editor. It's like you click on something and then it'll edit something else. Okay, yeah. So when Paper 2D, God, when you start clicking boxes in the material, it like completely screws up the other materials, the other texture samplers in your material. Like, this is another thing that's really frustrating me is when I'll uncheck this. It'll actually, like if I check this back, well, what was it? It was if I uncheck this, I don't know, I swear to God, this thing changed and got screwed up. Yeah, there's some ghosts here with Paper 2D's sprite editing stuff coming through and messing crap up inside of your material editor if you click the wrong buttons. So it's the paper sprite component. We're looking for additional textures. Wait, what is this? There's paper material not two-sided, so it has to be two-sided? What the fuck is going on with Paper 2D's materials? Like, this is ridiculous. This whole thing. Like, okay, it has to be two-sided. Alright, fine. We'll make this thing two-sided. Let's re-import this stuff so that we all have sprite sheets, and of course how come this isn't getting lit? Like, this should get lit immediately right here. No excuse. Like, why isn't it getting lit? Why not? What the fuck is going on here? It's got the wrong material on it or something? Yeah, it didn't update the material. Alright. So the issue is definitely that something is messed up with when there's no normal map. Like, I guess the normal map that I'm using as a placeholder is not a good placeholder normal map or something like that. So let me take another stab at this thing. Like, according to some of these, if it's like two-sided sign here, and then we need like a constant 0, and then we need a vector parameter. Like, how can I just make a fucking float 3 here, like, just like a constant XYZ? Constant. I mean, we don't want a vertex color. Can we just do constant? No, of course not. Constant 3 vector. Yeah, but like, then if I want to just I don't want to use a damn color picker, I just want to enter the fucking thing, you know? And of course I'm back to not getting any of this working as I want. Alright, so the issue is, how did we get our game to stream? Oh, good morning, Bedeshe. I'm in a bad mood right now. I've been not been very successful with getting these materials properly. displaying, so excuse me if I'm being annoying. How did we get our game to stream? I'm not really sure what you mean by that question. Oh, how did you get your game to Steam? Alright, we have not gotten our game to Steam. We are not on Steam. Not yet, or whatever. We'll be dealing with that when we get to it. But we'll be using like the whole Steam Direct thing and all that when we get there. So yeah, we have not gotten to Steam. Some of my friends have gotten games to Steam, and that was through like the greenlight process and all that. But that's not really so relevant anymore. We will be launching on Steam. Yeah, we don't have a trailer because we haven't gotten to the point where the game's in any sort of playable state to make one that's respective of gameplay. Yeah, we will be getting to Steam, but we're going to be doing that, in like November or something. So that's in, another 5 months. So I'm sorry, I cannot answer your question because we have not gotten there yet. I'm not doing this correctly. It's it's not cell shading. It's just a sprite with a normal map on it. Yeah, the Steam Direct stuff. I thought they set the dollar value at $100, not at like 5,000. So I think you should be able to use it as long as you can afford $100. But you can always launch your game off of some other platform first and then get the money to take it to Steam. Like there are different things you can use online to get your game out there. Of course, it's not Steam. Yeah, itch.io and others would be a place you could look. Okay, so this normal map should be negated. Is two-sided sign even working? Like, supposedly two-sided sign should be doing something inside of our shader. I'm not seeing anything actually get used. This just doesn't look right. Like, the two-sided sign here should have some of these things be blue, but then when they get flipped, it should be black. And that's just shaded blue. What's going on with this material? That's not looking right either.